This is Car Chronicles Extra. Welcome back to our weekly look at all things automotive. Now, since this is an events-driven program, this week we're going to concentrate more on business because that's really what's more in the news this week. We've got some very interesting car sales figures coming out, and they're kind of counterintuitive. You would think with rising gas prices, car sales would be hurt. Actually, they're helped. We'll talk about that a little bit. And we will have a little bit of eye candy for you on this program. We will wrap things up with a test drive of the all-new 2011 Dodge Charger. But let's start with General Motors. They're on the comeback trail after posting a $3.2 billion profit.
This, from our perspective, was a solid first quarter, sets us up well for the balance of the year. So we feel that we're on plan and that we're delivering what we expected and wanted to deliver, and we've got to deliver for the rest of the year. That's our job.
And the rest of the year, you say you're expecting a better year this year than last year. Talk about what gives you the confidence to say that.
Well, it's obviously, if you look at the first quarter results, there's a lot of growth that we're delivering all around the world. We see the industry recovering, as I think most commentators would agree with. So it's a combination of industry recovery, it's a combination of the vehicle offering that we have, our ability to get price for those vehicles and offer consumers value, and our ability to maintain the cost structure and offset some of the headwinds we see as well, such as commodity costs, some change in mix that we anticipate in the North American market.
And gas prices, you're certainly in a better position now than you were 3 years ago, the last time gas prices spiked.
Absolutely, and again, it's all about the vehicles. It's all about having a broad portfolio from the biggest vehicles to the smallest vehicles, and it's not just having a small vehicle on offer, it's about having a very high-quality small vehicle. And what we're seeing, obviously, is consumers are happy to downsize, but they don't want to downsize to a low-quality or a low-feature car. They still want all the features and specifications that they had. In a larger vehicle, they want to enjoy that in the smaller vehicles, and that's what we're now able to offer.
Outside of that, any concern about gas prices hurting the economy, which of course would hurt car sales for everybody?
Sure. We're obviously tracking that. We are no better at predicting gas prices than anyone else is, but we're clearly monitoring it. Our baseline assumption for business planning purposes is that gas prices are going to stay elevated for some period of time, and that's the way that we're running the company.
General Motors also announcing a $131 million investment in its Bowling Green, Kentucky plant. That's one of GM's crown jewels that makes a new Corvette. Now, this investment will mean about 250 new jobs, but more importantly, it paves the way for a brand new version of the Corvette, the 7th generation. GM's a little vague on the timing there. They say it'll probably be out in 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. Until then, that plant will be retooled and will continue to make the current version of the Corvette, the C6 as they call it. And General Motors started off the second quarter on a very good note. They had a very strong April. Of course, most of the industry had a very strong April. The high gas prices are pushing more and more people to small cars. Add that into the recovery, and people are actually out there buying those small cars, not just looking at them. In fact, there were some limits of small cars. There weren't as many out there as many people would have wanted. The car companies say they could have sold more if they would have had more. There is concern, though, that car sales will slip a bit in the next couple of months because of limited supply coming from Japanese countries because of disruptions caused by the earthquake in Japan. As gas prices hit record levels, the Center for Auto Research holding an interesting conference taking a look at how the greening of the auto industry is going to create new opportunities in the future.
The employment in the auto industry is coming back. It's not coming back to where it was, but those jobs are very different and require different skills. We're also looking as part of this conference as to what auto workers who've been displaced from engineering and technical and production and skilled trades positions can do elsewhere in the economy, and many of those opportunities are also green.
The exciting thing is green technology now touches on every aspect of the automotive business, whether it's our dealers, our parts suppliers, our manufacturing processes, the new technologies and innovations. So today, we were here talking a bit about what customers are going to demand for the future and the challenges we have to continuously reinvent the workforce to be ready to support that.
But it's not just engineering. It rang in my head when you said if you're an MBA, apply at Ford.
Oh my gosh, MBA, human resources, treasury. Think about the auto industry and how it's restructured. Think about what we have to do for currency balancing around the world, for working in currencies, the partnerships, the collaborations, the business arrangements, the joint ventures.
And now, the fun part of the program, the test drive segment. In some weeks, this is more fun than others. Now, I like the looks of the Dodge Charger from the moment I first saw it at an auto show, but when I first saw this vehicle on the street, I realized it was a real head turner. It's also a neck snapper. Now, Chrysler let me drive the 370 horsepower RT version of the Charger. It has power and still 23 miles per gallon highway fuel economy with all-wheel drive. The base 6-cylinder engine gets you 292 horsepower with 27 highway miles per gallon. Let's take a look inside this vehicle. This interior is just gorgeous, and you can get a lot of extras. The test car they let me drive had blind spot detection, heated and cooled cup holders, adaptive cruise control, and an all-new navigation audio system. But again, that fully loaded vehicle came with a $40,000 sticker price. The entry-level model is about $10,000 less. But the bottom line, Dodge has taken a really good big car and made it great. That's our program this week. There's always a lot going on in the auto industry, and we'll be back next week to tell you all about it. I'm Auto Beat reporter Jeff Gilbert. Thanks for joining us.